Hello, welcome to Rolling Escapades, episode 26, season 2, part 2. I did say those in the wrong order, but that's fine. I said all the right things. So we're just going to continue with where we are. So we're at the end of all of your guys' downtime. You've spent a week in Shadowfell, you've all recollected together, apart from Throndrake, who at this point has left the party to do his own thing. But he has bequeathed the belt of fire giant strength to the party to decide amongst you who is having that. But a discussion we can have next week when we have par. So following on from the downtime, you guys had a couple of things that you wanted to do. You wanted supplies for drinking water and dry food, holy water, clerical services, and talk to Erliel and whatnot. I think that about covers it.
Yeah.
How much money is in the party fund currently?
I can get you.
We need to know if we can actually hire someone.
We currently have 170 in party funds.
I have more on me personally.
So do I, personally. But we paid for a large chunk of the recent frivolities from the party funds.
Yeah. You did pay for most of Shade's Erebus's stag do out of the party funds.
Party expenses, party enjoyment, party funds.
Yep.
Worth it.
Yeah. So in terms of we'll start with a cleric. In terms of hiring costs, that is going to cost you 2 gold pieces per day to have them as a baseline. Are you intending to tell them where you are going?
Yes.
Yes, they
You
know
in
they're getting
interesting
to.
places.
Wonderful. So instead there's going to be 5 gold pieces a day. Because it comes with serious risk of loss of life or limb.
They don't mind their sanity though.
They are a cleric. I'm not sure Aegis actually specifically said this part. It is possible to remove corruption with restoration magic.
Ah.
So a cleric is well placed to just make sure they don't go insane. Just they may eventually run out of. They might not be able to keep control of everyone.
Unless the restoration a day keeps the undead away.
Indeed.
All the corruption away.
Yeah, corruption, not undead, doesn't really help
It
the
keeps the
undead.
corruption away.
So
Yeah,
yes,
maybe.
so a cleric can handle themselves pretty well. So 5 gold a day. You don't know how long you're going to be there.
We have at least a rough ballpark because Jack's ship is going to leave in 10-15 days, even with what we're bringing with us. Maybe might extend it to 20, so at most it's going to be 100 gold.
We could always pay like the first 5 days and then say we'll just keep adding it as those extend.
Or pay the first 5 days and then leave a deposit with Jack, who they're staying with on the ship.
So the cleric will happily, if they're going to come and you don't know how they're going to be, they are going to want the first week up front so they can have they have money to spend on things they may require whilst there, because they want to get hold of themselves some holy water, some silver, some dust, diamond dust and whatnot, so they have access to the materials they need to cast the spells they're going to be requiring. But past that, they will just keep track of the days and will tell you a number at the end to pay the difference.
Would it be a good idea to get silver daggers? I'm asking the paladin. He would know more about the undead. I haven't really dealt with it, I don't think. Well, yes, Kim. That would make a lot more sense as well, yes.
Well, for vampires and some other undead, yes, but usually just decapitations seem to work relatively well, and that's free.
A very good point. Plus, it would affect our colleague adversely.
He possibly doesn't like to be near it,
Yeah.
as we've recently found out.
Would there be any issue with this? Is obviously not to the not in front of the cleric, but to the party, and making sure that our cleric is unaware of the fact that we're affiliated with the council, but we still have to get there by going through.
Whose cleric is it?
That's a good question, actually.
who went looking for a cleric? You went looking for, so it's going to be.
We're good. Don't worry.
Yeah, it would be a cleric of forgotten name. Eldath, that's the one.
We're good. They'll keep their mouth quiet.
Yeah. There is also being connected with the council isn't necessarily a bad thing. They do hire adventurers to do things.
It's just difficult knowing the level of secrecy that we have to maintain as far as doing things for them. But to what extent, considering we're going to the very top of the wizard's tower, which is the very height of everything, and then to an island which shouldn't exist, in a storm which shouldn't exist. There's a few questions there.
Yeah.
We can easily cover that by saying, you know, we three are members of the Purple Helix, as well as being members of the Errant Guard.
Yeah.
I'm Erliel's apprentice, and she sent us to go and do something, and she's sending us there.
Yeah,
That's, you know.
And you have backup.
And then I just add in the religious element of, Eldath thanks you for your service.
No.
Code word for take money. Quiet.
Yeah. So you're gonna hire the cleric, 5 gold a day. They want a week up front, which is 10 days. So they want 50 gold, which they're going to use to go buy themselves some materials.
Shall I remove that from the party fund?
Yeah, we will have it.
It's also you
No,
could play
50 gold.
Everyone, look at the rich person.
The noble.
It also means the ship is a much better place that we can fall back to if there's a cleric who can.
Yes.
use.
Significant.
Yeah.
It makes
Safe
it
place.
it makes it a much safer place to return to.
You. Wonderful. So that is the cleric acquired. Quest complete. Sending stone. That's a nice and easy conversation. Oh no, doesn't give you a sending stone.
Thanks, boss.
That's it. I've never bothered with a sending stone. You never know who's going to just pick up at the other side if it goes missing. So let's just, I can just send sending. I can just use the sending spell.
Yes, could you imagine receiving a sending stone from someone that you don't really want to talk to? Awful.
Inside joke!
Yeah.
Oh no! I haven't told her about this.
Do it!
What is this going to be? It's deception or Christmas save? Probably technically a Christmas save.
I mean, he's being sarcastic as he says this.
Yeah,
so-
no, I'm gonna say make a charisma save.
You're within 10 feet of me!
Oh.
Oh man, that was bad.
How bad?
3 bad.
Oh, bad. Don't worry.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I don't need to see what I add up to this, but
I don't
Christmas saves,
think
so
so.
that's a 9.
Wow.
Plus,
I could, like, advantage
It's
myself
11.
on this,
11.
but I think it's a bit late now.
Oh yeah, you have his aura.
Oh, it's 11 then.
Ooh.
You did that strong rolls.
It's well within my character.
Yeah.
Icarus. I sense there's more to that statement.
Everyone else.
I'm just.
What?
Nah, I'm not dealing with it.
What is the context behind that?
Honestly, we go to these places, trouble does turn up. Unfortunately, we can do our best to ignore it and try and shove it out the way, but annoyances do force their way in.
Right, but a sending stone to someone you don't want to talk to. That's not a general statement. That's very specific in what you're saying. Who do you have a sending stone to that you don't want to talk to? Why do you still have the sending stone if you don't want to talk to them?
I'm assuming you told us of your report, didn't you? Did you not wonder how we were able to remove vampires?
In the corner, you do go, everyone going, oh god.
Yes, but you are currently busy doing other things, and the report was a written report. We were going to question, as the council as a whole, we were going to question you upon your arrival back from the island. But so you had help.
Oh,
Would you like the sending stone yourself?
Yes. Yes, I would.
Who has the sending stone?
No, I don't.
No, it's in the bag,
It's
isn't
in
it?
the bag of holding.
Did we put it in the bag, or did
Yes.
we not hold on to it?
No,
after?
someone has got it because someone kept wanting to use it, and I went, well, fucking have it then. But I'm not putting that out in character.
Yeah, I've not mentioned.
I'm just like, I know I don't have it.
Yeah, I don't have it listed on myself as far as I can see.
You've put it.
Oh shit, maybe I do. That might be it.
Yes, no, you were the last person to use it back on the ship. And you never
Yes,
gave it
because I
back.
spoke to the guy to
Yeah.
say like, oh hey, the storm.
And he was like, lol, good luck. Basically.
Basically.
I take out the sending stone.
May I?
The only reason I would hesitate.
Oh, just give it to
handing
her.
He has proven useful, and we don't know.
She will destroy you. Just give it to her.
I mean, I don't intend to do that, but I'll give it back. I just want to know who's on the other side.
I don't. We're not sure of his name, but I can give you the name that he gave us.
Oh?
It was Bredon. Is it Cole?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Don't.
I can't fully remember what the surname
Stone
is.
boy.
Bredon.
It's surname
Bredon
here.
Slappert.
Yeah.
He snuck the stone onto us after eradicating the spiders from the forest in our previous mission.
In my mind,
He's
There is no reason not to.
There's a
explain.
shovel. There's a shovel digging a hole.
This is
Oh,
why I
so-
don't talk much.
So, just so I'm clear on this, when you fought the spiders, you came across the stone to a potentially very, very powerful archmage.
We were not aware of his power at that time. All we knew is that he stumbled across us in the forest in a way that appeared as if he himself was trying to evade them. He helped us destroy the nest, where we realised, oh, he can use fireball. At the time, there was only 2 or 3 of us conscious.
In most of our defence, we were out cold.
So he helped take the people to the nearest temple, and we were then able to inform the town guard, and everything resolved itself rather nicely.
Fair enough, and it's only recently that you've come to appreciate how powerful he is.
Yes, it turns out that we were storing the stone because we didn't care to speak to him ever again. We left it in the bag, and he just cut out that entirely and used sending to contact us when we were happening to think up how we'd remove a covenant of vampires.
As he's saying all this to her, I'm going to try and make an insight check to see if he's doing what
Go
she's...
ahead and make an insight check.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's an insight or a perception check, but I want to watch her for reactions on
It came
those
straight out.
vampires.
Insight check.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I can do maths again. 25.
Not that high.
Come to the book. I might have actually...
Done the thing.
This is the first time you rolled against, and I've had to check the stats. Well, some of the stats because these aren't fully accurate. Come on.
I don't think the number I rolled matters.
What did you get?
14?
Good to know.
I don't think it means
It's
anything.
tempting to roll.
Do it.
She might not be trying to hide her reactions.
I mean, at the moment,
I'm just
everyone's
trying to
look
read-
away
I
from
just-
me.
I'll see
She
it.
might not be particularly trying to hide it.
Did you get 25? Can't read it.
What was the 24?
I've got 25.
Oh, wow.
Why did you?
Got so close. It's not. It's her stats. Her stats in the saves.
We were not aware of his full potential until after he saw off the vampire and then went off to destroy every last one of them and the mansion that they live in single-handedly. That's more of the turning point. He went from annoyance to
Scary as
You saw him destroy the vampires.
We saw the remains of the place. We decided it was best to go there and confirm anything before letting chance happen or making assumptions. There was no trace of any.
Bear with me 1 second. I may have more questions. I'm just going to talk to him.
He doesn't know who we're affiliated with, by the way.
That's fine. So she spends 6 seconds telepathically talking.
I just look at you just like, why doesn't your mouth ever shut?
we
What's
just
the funny
introduced Morticia and Gomez.
I'm very charismatic.
And she comes out and goes, "You can have that back."
Thanks.
Do we kill him next time we see him?
I have the feeling you can't.
So did I.
Where was this vampire nest that he wiped out?
The Shroud of Necrosis.
Yes, the forest next
The
to
forest
the town.
to the north of
definitely
the town.
defined.
Wonderful. Good to know. Thank you.
Well, if you do happen to send someone to double check on things, trade envoy might not be terrible. Look for Peg.
I'm not going to send someone.
He's going to go.
I'm going
It's
to
a
go have a
personal.
look myself.
If you send someone, trade envoy might not be a bad suggestion.
Oh yes, for the good of the town itself, as opposed to a personal mission.
Peg is the one you want to
They're
speak
under a
with.
bit of restructuring thanks to some of our efforts.
Yes, we've started to get information, but they need to stabilise before we initiate trade. Also, it's a decision the council needs to make, but this is a matter I personally am interested in.
For this, obviously this isn't your intention that we worked alongside him. How would you feel in future about his potential?
There's potential. When you didn't have the sending stone in your possession, you put it in another plane, so he couldn't contact you. He contacted you anyway.
Yes.
You are of interest to this individual.
As we found.
Yes, whether you wish to or not. That's why I've given you the sending stone back. There's little point in me keeping it. He's going to contact you regardless. This way, maybe you can initiate the conversation yourself. That might make a difference, I don't know. Just be wary.
We
I
are.
would be wary of him.
Always.
We're somewhat reluctant, hence chucking it away.
Good. I would also strongly recommend in the future, should you discover a sending stone that connects you to a mage of any level of power, letting someone else know. Because there are a lot of individuals who travel for Vanor who are not pleasantly minded, and such an artifact could in itself be a trap. There can be methods used to scry on you, to watch what you are doing, to keep an eye on you, to track what abilities you have, to later on take care of you, use you as a resource to collect things on their behalf, put things in your way.
With all honesty, when we put it in the bag, I think we forgot about it.
With all due respect, I put it in the bag and hoped everyone else would forget about it. For those reasons. For in a plane on its own, it cannot see us. I don't think he can see it.
Depends on whether or not he put magic into it to interact with someone when they picked it up.
Forgive me for not mentioning it. If he contacts us again, I will let you know. And if we find anything else, I will do as you say and let you know. That's
Wonderful. I mean, I think you should be okay. I think.
Out of interest, what did you say to him?
I said some words.
Good. We shall see next time. If there is a next time.
But at least you have told me now. Better now than to know for sure. Well, no more than it is to continue to act in concern and too much wariness. Powerful allies are always a good thing to have. And knowing 2 archmages is a benefit that most people do not have.
Yes, this, all assuming he is definitely regarded as an ally and not, I think we just see him as a neutral. He'll work to however he wants. We're just of interest.
Well, I would recommend remaining of interest lest he become bored. How did you say you came by the stone? It was with the spiders?
It was on the corpse of what seemed to be of interest that had attacked the spiders, or had been attacked by the spiders.
So I would guess his previous point of interest, who became boring.
Upon death.
A worry, I'm probably speaking too much again, a worry at the time was that the spiders may have been of his hand. We're not sure if that's still the case, but...
I mean, quite possibly they are created, they are not a natural occurrence.
Spiders being a test for his various adventures, and we overcame that. But we don't know if that's still the sort of thing that he's doing, or if
Possibly.
it's just something he found.
The spiders are the creation of someone very, very powerful. I have recovered a body for my own investigations. It is something I could recreate should I desire, but
I'm sure the town would be much happier not discovering that.
This town seems pretty secure.
yes.
Oh god.
But
Death, give me strength.
yes, I have. If he created it, then yes, he would be. He would be somewhere close to my level of power, if not equal. Which, contrary to public opinion, such individuals do in fact exist. There are not many, but they are there. Wonderful. Are you ready to travel, or have you got some more things to take care of?
We have everything we need.
So
Supplies.
we've got
Do we have the cleric with us?
I'm just like, I'm going to open the door and be like, and we have an extra party member. It closes the door.
we've got the same number
Well,
of
it's the same number, isn't it?
It's the same number
yeah.
of people.
Because we've
Oh,
Yeah.
no, it's an extra one from the number that was standing in our room. But yes, it's the same number
it's
overall.
up to 8 creatures. Yeah, up to 8 willing creatures, which is
All
you,
of us.
you 7 plus the cleric. It's her and up to 8. Cool. So I suppose you would have actually gone to her after getting all your supplies.
Yeah.
For the purposes of buying things like water barrels and food and holy water. Holy water has a flat cost in the PHB of
No, like 25.
25 gold pieces for a single flask,
Yeah.
which is a one-use thing. So
It's kind of pricey.
yes, the other thing I think you can do.
Surely, God bother her. Can
Only
get a
if I've
discount.
got powdered silver.
I was
which
gonna
is
say-
of equal value. There's literally no benefit in buying the raw product.
Well, you could get hold of a collection of holy water if you were to call in your favour.
Could do. You make a good point.
But you then wouldn't have that favour for later on, so it's
And we wouldn't know he's got a favour owed, would we?
I think I'll hang on to the favour because I'm not.
Resurrection.
I'm not hugely sure how efficient holy water is going to be in this situation.
that's entirely fair. So the temple will, on the account of the fact that you have done work for them, and will continue to do work for them beyond a certain value, they will get it for 20 gold. They will give you a flask of holy water for 20 gold instead of 25. So buy of that as many as you wish. Then in terms of just getting more food and water, how much are you guys thinking?
2 tons of caviar.
Did we?
Well, we need food for 15 for 2 weeks.
How many are on the ship?
Was there 8 of us and there's 7 of them?
It was more than that. Because there was Jack and then there's 4 main people and he's got a number of sailors.
At least one sailor
insane
died.
carrying capacity we need him. Why is Thorndrake his insane ability to carry heavy things we need him?
Well, I mean, you don't have to get it all at one go. You can ship it across, and it is
we
just
all need to just
teleported into the ship.
All we need to do is sit on the crate. the whole lot moves to the boat, then they deal with it on the boat.
Yeah.
What, so as we join hands to teleport, if we're just all touching a crate each?
No, we're literally sitting on it, holding hands backwards.
Alright.
That's how you do it. I'll
So-
sort this through.
How much worth of supplies do you want to get for the ship, and then, well, it's just the ship because you guys can get stuff on for yourselves as you travel. So you just how many additional
So
weeks?
at the moment they've got 1 week left.
A week and a half, week and 8 days.
And they said they're going to
So
disappear
18
when there's
days.
a week left.
Yeah, and there's a week left,
Well,
just in case they get lost.
if we doubled that,
What, so 20 days?
so if we gave them another,
2.5 months-ish. 2 weeks.
that would give them,
Yeah, 2 weeks, 20
no,
days.
because 18 days is almost 2 weeks, so that'd be 3.5 weeks total. So then
Because
they'd
it's
leave
10
after
days.
2.5.
Yes,
So
once
yeah,
it-
it'd give them
two
another
weeks.
2.5 weeks cover support time.
How long does Goodberry do food and water, or is it just the food that it nourishes for?
I think just as good.
So if we might need to carry 1 or 2 barrels of water just in case there is something wrong with the water
Yeah.
over a long
Well,
period.
But we can put that in the bag of holding.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
barrels of water are going to go, like casks of water are going about bag holding.
Yeah.
It's more it's less about supplies for us because we can cope. It's more about stuff for the boat.
It's just working out the price of how much we're getting for the ship
yeah.
and keeping track of when we've got to get back to ship by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Assuming there's no time dilation on the island, which doesn't matter because we're screwed because we will go pale.
so how long will we stay on the island then?
Until his GPS stops beeping. You have reached your destination. Oh, thank you. God voice inside my belly.
Well, if
Down.
if the plan is to
Fundamentally, how much
to
is
I
search.
just want to go and look at that crystal thing.
Well, if we're searching until we've found the source of Shade's
we have
brain
we have to
dar.
search. We have to search the island.
Yes,
Not for that and not for that. We have to search the island to find.
Fundamentally, we don't know how long we're going to be searching for something. We don't know what it is we're looking for. So why don't we realistically check the price of, say, 3 weeks? If we can afford that much, move up to 4 weeks. If we can't afford it, well done.
I was coming to a similar point that you were.
You were both just taking much longer way of doing it, so I
Yes,
thought I would cut you both
that
out.
is our way. We like to go around the bushes and hit them all. if we don't know how long we're going to be there, it almost doesn't matter how much food we give them, because the chances are they will be gone before we return from our search. The area under scrutiny
but
is...
Shamshire is correct, Eldoran. The more food we give them, the longer we have to search.
Well, we can search without them being there.
We don't really want to be spending too long on an island which could be stuck within the Shadowfell anyway. So as much as there's a case of buy us all the time in the world, I don't want to spend all the time in the world there for the sake of my health, sanity, life, or any other thing that might factor under what could sway within this place of darkness and vampires and hell.
I might recommend a maximum of 2 weeks of exploring before we return, possibly extended if the cleric can clear any corruption that may have accumulated.
I think a wise idea to limit our exposure, but we need a way of returning to that place that doesn't involve Jack and his crew repeatedly sailing through that maelstrom. We need to find a way that we can use Erliel to teleport us back and forth from the point.
Would a teleportation circle or some sort of symbol that we could create in order to have a more permanent means of getting there and back, that also wouldn't require a very specific spell usage?
I defer to you upon matters of a magical nature.
Sorry, that's awful.
Why do we not simply explore until we think we can explore no more, at which point we decide to return? We can't guess how long we need ahead of time, because we simply do not have a clue as to what we're looking for.
That was my initial point.
How big did we deduce the island was?
We didn't.
You didn't. You have seen one corner of the island. You don't know how much of it that is.
Right, okay. Even when hovering up and looking across things, we couldn't see that much.
I mean, when hovering up above it, you could see that it goes for some time. You are at the edge of a reasonable sized island. It's smaller than the continent. Than the country for Vanor, but it is still a reasonably big island.
Okay.
Do we have supplies to map out the island, as your book seemed to have said so?
Yeah, that's a fair
It'd be wise, so we don't get lost.
Was one of us not a cartographer?
Charcoal and paper.
That was the Halloween one shot.
That was my code on the Halloween one.
Shit. Sorry.
I'm sure we can sketch the landscape at least.
Even if we spend 2 weeks there, at least we've got something to give back to, the council.
Mm. And we can always return. Well, maybe.
Also, what's our way of contacting Erliel to get back if we don't have teleportation?
Sending?
We have a scroll of sending.
Okay.
Well, I'm not sure who could use it.
Just the one.
Yeah, you can't have one scroll of sending because you didn't use it to contact the last time because she did it herself.
But then if we use the scroll, how is Jack and the cleric? They're simply just going to sail back through it. But he can't because his crew will die. So even though we have the sending scroll, we would most likely, in good conscience, have to travel back with Jack. When we're done with the island, and this food, 2 weeks we would need 3, because the 3rd week covers the week of travel we need to get back from the island to civilization. Can we have maybe an estimate how much we could buy? We might be talking 4 weeks in our ballpark and not even be able to afford anywhere near that.
What's it? One ration is 5 silver.
So it's not just a ration that you want because a ration is for a meal. So to have them sort of well fed, not like massively but
Nourished.
survivable, nourished, it would cost 5 silver per person per day. If you wanted to give them the bare minimum they need to survive, It is 1 silver per person per day.
How many are there?
There's a crew of 25, 4 officers and Jack, minus 1 dead.
Minus 1 dead, so 25 total.
So it's a crew of 29.
Oh god.
This is in assumption that none of them have perished in the time that we've been gone.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
So you're talking, essentially you're talking to get stuff for all of them, you're talking 3 gold a day. More or less.
That's just for that.
3 gold a day.
Sorry, is that 3 gold for like nourished or for scurvy?
No,
Oh,
yeah.
that's 3 gold to, though they have enough to survive, but they're probably not going to be happy.
So it's 15 gold a day for them to be well fed.
Yep.
I would say not minimum, just because we might want to use their services in the future, and if we're skimpy on the scampi.
There is also the other thing element is they will have a cleric.
And they can also try fish.
I don't want to have good berry.
Shadowrun fish. Don't pull a zombie out the water.
Yeah, just that's catch and release, bro. Catch and release.
You've gone mad.
So for 20 days, giving them 15 gold each, that's 300 gold.
Which we don't really have.
Or we do if we need to, but
But that's just for them, not us.
yeah, that's just
So
for them.
We can't.
Well,
Well, it's significantly less for us. It's half that number for us.
we can also use good berry that nourishes you for a
Yeah.
day.
And we've also got no.
There is also an element of, I've previously said I don't care about tracking food in travel because it's tedious and unnecessary. You will be able to find stuff to eat. It's just, as the book said, you may not enjoy eating it, but it won't kill you. You will find stuff to eat.
Day 57, more zombie.
Yeah. Yeah.
protein.
There is.
Day 62. Mud is my new friend.
You are also sending a cleric. Clerics have access to the 3rd level spell Create Food and Water, which allows them to sustain up to 15 creatures for a day. So you actually only need to feed half the crew if you send the cleric and tell them you have to use Create Food and Water every single day.
Let's take 2 clerics.
Isn't that... Yeah.
might
Taking
be
2
more
clerics would be
available.
cheaper than taking...
2 clerics is cheaper than buying food.
It's
So
not.
10 gold for the 2?
It's not far off though, and it would be better to have 2 clerics.
That's it.
It's always better to have 2
2 gold additional a day for the cleric as opposed to just giving them food.
We want real convenience.
It's like bringing 2 vending machines.
You said you were bringing food. Oh yeah, we have. We just show them the cleric. It's like, we're not cannibals here.
Although, actually, no, you will have to provide food for 1 person because the cleric takes the crew up to 30, and then if you send an additional cleric, they have 31.
They have.
But that's 1 silver a day.
The ship already has supplies.
That's fair. They already have some supplies.
They
Yeah, they
have
already
supplies
have.
for a couple of weeks for an
Literally,
entire
bring the cleric
What's the
doubles the
protocol?
time they can stay there.
Well,
So long as the cleric stays alive.
as long as the cleric stays alive.
As long as the cleric doesn't become corrupted themselves.
Again, this is all assuming the crew's 100% alive.
So, are
do
you,
we-
Or sane.
Just going to break character because this is just going to make things quicker. 2 weeks? Do we just go with 2 weeks as
Which
a
is how
number?
If they were well fed.
do you buy food or do you buy another cleric?
Rent.
Rent a cleric.
It's on low.
0800 rent a cleric.
Can we find a budget cleric?
0400 budget cleric.
One who we don't mind killing off at the
No. Dave's clerics.
0121, you're done.
Are you doing food or are you doing a cleric?
Votes for cleric.
Because this is taking too long.
Cleric, right? That's a pretty unanimous vote for cleric. Okay, so
2 clerics.
an additional cleric is.
Costs 10.
No, that's fine. Erliel has the ability. She's probably going to be a little bit annoyed at you again now. I'm going to add that because now she can't just do it in 4 spells.
Oh no, how new for me.
Yeah,
Her being annoyed at you, yeah.
because she can only do it for her and 8 other creatures, and there's now 9 other creatures.
Put someone in the bag. For the 10 seconds we have to
You get the bag.
I would actually be okay with that. if it would actually allow us to teleport without.
Well, we're paying the clerics, they can get in the bag.
No, I want them to live. I paid this money for you. Get in the bag. Dog shit.
Do you know what? There's 10 minutes of oxygen, and I'm assuming the bag's going to be closed to seal off the dimension.
So, the other cleric also requires 50 gold up front before they'll go. So
I'll do the thing.
Cool. So you've hired 2 clerics. They are both clerics of Eldath. They are there to be food bots and restoration bots.
My colleagues are the best.
That is their entire purpose.
No questions.
Basically.
Wonderful. How many flasks of holy water are you buying? 20
I
gold each.
will buy 2.
Wonderful.
Another 50.
And is there anything else anyone wanted to purchase?
I would like to buy a druidic focus because the UA now gives rangers access to
Yeah.
druidic focuses.
Yes, you can now use a druidic focus rather than have the components. Wonderful. You can just buy a druidic focus, that's easy enough.
Do we have paper and ink or whatever?
I even
For
wanted
maps?
maps, guys.
Anything.
Paper and charcoal, okay.
There is actually.
Crayons.
Do that.
I think there is scribe supplies.
I've got quill and ink.
Was it 20 each? Yeah.
Yeah, 20 each. So a sheet of parchment is 1 silver piece. Which is going to be like an A4 sheet of parchment.
A couple of them at least.
Probably. Purchase as many of them as you want.
Who's keeping track? Because my
I'll buy a gold's worth of parchment.
Cool. So 10 sheets. Anything else you guys are purchasing?
Cartographer's tools, just the whole thing would be 15 gold.
But you didn't know how to use them. Well, you wouldn't. You could use them, but you wouldn't be very good with them.
Yeah, I mean you could have access to them, but yeah, it'd be...
Everything is better than nothing in certain situations.
Yeah. So, that it? Anything else? Or are we all content with purchases?
I think so.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
Okay.
we grab some tents.
Hmm?
Some tents.
Some tents.
Like-
tents, 2 persons, 2 gold each.
I'm thinking we buy 2 of those.
Pigeons? Are they still?
Some people are going to be awake at all times, so take 2.
Yeah. I mean, 2 or 3 should cover everyone bar the watchers.
Yeah, because
And I think so. I think someone already had one.
Had a
Proof.
tent.
Previous campaign.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Pa had a tent. I thought
I don't
Pa.
think he has a
I thought he bought a tent.
Yeah, did someone not have an explorer's kit or a
Maybe,
soldier's?
whatever.
Yeah, ask him when he's back.
Mm.
You can buy
We'll
2
buy-
tents.
we'll buy 2
if he
tents.
doesn't have a tent, you buy a third tent.
Cool.
That's easy enough.
Finds tent.
Erebus, you were asking about pittons?
Yes.
Pittons are...
They say 5 copper, but.
Yep, 5
Still
copper
the same.
each. Yeah, so you can purchase of that as many as you wish.
I'm going to get some parchment as well.
Cool, so yeah, 1
Parchment,
silver.
Yeah.
1 silver.
Gold's worth. Yeah.
Cool, so 10 sheets. Any other purchases? Wonderful.
I bought crocodiles, but I don't tell you about that.
So, you go back to Erliel's where she's sort of berated you a little bit, and then you pull in the 2 clerics, and she's like,
And a fuck off crate of food and water.
I thought you just bring the clerics, aren't you?
Oh yeah, we're just bringing clerics now.
Yeah, the clerics are the food bots.
We don't even need to bother. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
Okay.
So, we need to make the bag after we said that.
Oh yeah, you were just going to jump in the bag.
Make her a little less unhappy with us.
No, she's like, I don't know whether this experiment will work.
Yeah, which also...
I was glad you volunteered, or she made me get in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I'm more worried about my legs.
I'm assuming this thing is semi-stable.
what she actually says, you climb into the bag to make things easy.
No, I offer to. I don't get immediately.
Oh, yes, no, that would make things easier. Yes, I would need to use less spells. You climb in the bag?
Yeah.
Cool. She says, put the bag there. And she just teleports the bag on its own.
Well, that seems a little harsh. We are going to the same place, right?
Object,
Yes, you're going to the same place. It's just I can teleport a single object. Now I only have to use 3 spells. I don't know whether the bag would travel with you, with him inside. So I've sent him and the object. That worked, in theory. We'll find out when we get there. I get to cross a research thing.
We'll let you know.
Did I need to have the wood to get there? Or is it just she has to have it?
She has to have it.
Okay.
So she
Yeah, I'd
has
be
it.
annoyed if he had the
That's
wood
not
on him
me.
still.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You would have been put in the bag if I hadn't done this, wouldn't you? Well, there you go. That
Yeah.
saved you some uncomfortable times, probably.
Yep. So she does that. And they go, right. Now for the rest of you, it's easier if you all sort of link hands, touch each other in some way.
Everyone, orc check.
Wonderful. Everyone's all connected. She will put her hand on your shoulder best she can. You do notice it's a little tight. As in, like.
Oh, the grip.
Yeah, the grip.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, she.
Yeah, her grip is slightly tight, which as you have been experiencing teleporting with her a lot recently, is a bit out of the ordinary. But then she casts teleport again, holding the wood, and you all disappear, travelling through the weird darkness that accompanies a teleport, and you appear on the deck of Jack's ship, and your bag of holding is just in the ship, and Jack's sort of there like, what?
I just go. No.
I climb out
Oh.
if I can.
After it's opened, you can climb out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There are reasons, and these two are staying with you.
Right. Who are they? What are they?
Clerics of Eldath. They are, and I just. Shh.
Right.
My friends, they will look after you for the remainder of
Cool.
your time here.
I need your two help immediately. I've got someone downstairs who has maggots growing out of his skin.
I'm just like, no.
To immediately ask Jack, how long have we been gone?
It's hard to track time because there's no sunlight, but we have slept, 12 or so days?
It's been 10, I think.
Plus the
Oh, no, we won't go.
the first day when you guys teleported
Yeah.
back, and then the next day, which was the wedding.
So time is concurrent, just not within the storm. That's what I was checking.
When you think it was night, it didn't get darker. It just stayed at this continuous.
Well, hard to tell because of the lightning, mostly.
I follow the clerics to make notes about the maggots coming out from the skin.
Yeah.
I have seen maggots coming out someone's skin before. I
Yeah.
do not follow.
They are alive, but there are literally just maggots just wiggling in wiggling out their flesh. But they don't seem to be decaying. They just have maggots.
I have seen this before.
Has anyone suffered kind of unusual behaviour? Other than the maggots, obviously.
That's not that unusual, to be honest.
The maggots is the more pressing of the matter, but yes, people have been.
Despair?
Yes, lots of despair and unpleasantries.
Worse than usual.
Yes.
It appears that we may be in the Shadowfell.
The what fell?
It's a different plane.
Oh, good.
It might be wise to douse your lamps and not relight them.
As little light as
Wonderful.
possible.
Earl, we are not in the Shadowfell.
Oh.
We may be an extension of the Shadowfell.
Oh, she came with us. Fucking.
Yeah,
hell.
she had to
Yes,
teleport
teleport.
with. Yeah.
Jesus.
Because I can't teleport you somewhere on another plane.
Oh,
That makes sense.
even better.
Yes.
So there's just
So-
sort of border realm between the two, maybe?
This looks like the Shadowfell. This feels like the Shadowfell. Everything. It screams Shadowfell to me. Unpleasant place. But
It's like they're overlapping.
yes, which the Shadowfell overlaps the prime material plane anyway. They're a mirror plane. But you still can't just. You have to cross a barrier to get through one. So this implies to I'm looking at this, and this looks to me like the Shadowfell is leaching into the prime material plane.
So, if we... I'm probably signing us up for something that we're going to have to do.
May I recommend then you stop?
Do continue.
If we got rid of whatever was leeching, as you put it, the Shadowfell to our own plane, would the island still be here, but just not Shadowfell?
In theory, yes. The island already existed in the prime material plane. We can travel to and from it. Whether you can stop it is another matter entirely.
It was mostly just making sure that we didn't do something and then find out we were not on land anymore.
Would be unpleasant.
The storm is because of a breach between the planes. Someone ruptured the weave.
It should be noted that's not our friend. We asked him.
I think it should be noted that we have no chance.
One way of using the word friend.
And we're desperately getting that one in there.
Friend!
Would the crystal have anything to do with it? Just it. I'm just asking people.
Crystal?
When we came out of the storm, upon the cliff we saw a crystal. They vanished shortly afterwards.
I'll cast a spell.
Counterspell.
It's funny because you're not
serious.
God, no, I'm not serious.
Yeah.
You almost killed our DM.
Yeah, I know, it's worth it.
Yes, for that alone.
I won't do that
so
anymore.
hard.
Sorry.
Lie.
You say you saw a crystal. What do you think happened to it?
Nothing at all. I think it's still there, just not flashing anymore.
Oh, it's flashing. It's
Yeah.
not flashing anymore.
No.
Which is why it could still be there, we just can't see it because it's,
Yeah.
the light is gone.
A reminder that Erliel is human
Yeah.
and is currently looking at a point that you guys were unable to make out.
Yeah. Alright.
Yes, I can see the crystal up on the. It's just on the edge of the cliff, just in front of the trees.
Sounds about
It's
right.
dark right now. It was light, like actual light, not the dull.
No,
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 it's
Actual
light.
light.
like sun.
What happened when it went out?
It was no longer lit.
I'm
Sorry.
trying to think, I can't actually remember. It's been a month and a
Yeah.
half at this point.
When it went out, a few seconds passed, and all of you got hit by a wave of nausea.
That was
I
fun.
that's right.
explain that.
Huh. Bear with me. She casts another spell.
Okay.
Arcana check.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, try this one, yeah.
Yeah, it's
you can
not
make Arcana checks, anyone who wants to.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I actually rolled well. I don't even have a clue.
Mine's probably not.
What were your Arcana checks?
11.
You don't know.
18.
18 you don't know.
23?
23 you do know. She just cast this time she cast Dimension Door.
Oh,
And she just opens a door of like purple energy, steps into it, and just disappears. But you see very briefly at the top of the cliff, like a brief flash of light.
Oh no.
She just steps up on there.
She could have taken us and saved an awful lot of time.
Could have saved a few rowers.
Should have taken Shay just for fun.
She could have seen our close then. We did tell her about that, didn't we?
Yeah, but she doesn't seem to care.
Yeah. That doesn't interest her.
I'm watching it happen, right?
That's what I thought.
So a few seconds pass. You occasionally, whilst just sort of watching, see like little flashes of magic just appearing up on the cliff face. You can't see what she's doing. Just occasionally you see just spells going off. About
Just aggravating the wildlife.
Do you think she's in danger?
If something is a danger to her, the entire ship is doomed.
Good. That's what I thought.
And quietly shakes himself.
about a minute passes, and the same door reappears back on the ship, and she steps out. Abjuration, interesting. But not stopping things going in. No, it's a defense mechanism to stop the spread of the split, the leeching, and it failed. Or at least this section. This, from what I can ascertain, this is one crystal of a sequence of many, probably dotted around to the edge of where the leeching goes to, which I imagine right now is the edge of the island. But this, as long as I have remembered, as long as I have known, this storm hasn't been here. So either something has changed, or whatever is attempting to contain it is no longer here to contain it, or it's just steadily become more powerful. Maybe the breach in the weave has just intensified.
That sounds extremely worrying.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Does the craftsmanship give you any tell to who may have laid out these plans?
No. Someone with, I imagine, someone with some sort of magical basis. Something was. There's arcane sigils up there, designed to hold things in. The wave of nausea was the defences failing and you getting hit by a, think of a shockwave, essentially, a built-up collection of the necrotic energies of the Shadowfell striking you at once. It is simply spread a little bit further, but whilst the other crystals are, I assume, lit, it should be mostly contained, but
It's weakening still.
it is weakening, yes. And Jack, I would recommend you move your ship. I would suggest finding another crystal to stay by, just in case the corruptions of the Shadowfell are intensified through a new breach.
Is there anything you can do to re-energize these crystals to restore the barrier? Is there anything we can do?
Find the people who made it in the first place. Hope they're still on the island. Hope they're still alive. Hope they haven't been corrupted by the Shadowfell.
Might you try researching in your vast libraries whilst we are attempting to make contact with the original builders?
I have no information on this. I can say that for a fact. I have done lots of research into the Shadowfell. I am bored of it, quite frankly. This is an uninteresting place. But,
That's what was
Insight there?
sure, make an insight check.
Nope, no, that sounds pretty
Let's get that 20.
Oh!
Is it 20?
This is 26.
Oh, if you can read her, I'm gonna.
She turned the truth. No.
How many
I
times have you
Or you can't read it.
This is the most amount of times I've actually
All
had to
of them.
consider her stats. I'm actually going to have to make her stats properly.
Yeah, boy. Make her sound properly.
She is uninterested by the Shadowfell.
Read it like a book.
If it makes you feel better, I rolled a 1.
Alright.
And I still had to go check her stats.
Well,
I just want to play that.
Just to be sure.
Cthulhu and I are concerned.
It's like a fort.
She's good at specific things.
She's strong.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she genuinely has, as far as she's concerned, researched the Shadowfell to the absolute pinnacle of which it needs to be researched, and decided it was not worth her time, and is now bored of it.
I might have to find those books, or else I'll read them.
you've seen everything about Shadowfell. Ask why it makes you old. She might know.
That's why she should take me with her.
Well,
Too meta.
Oh well.
we already asked her that.
So, yes, move the ship, and I don't know what it is, I can't fix it, I don't know what the magic is, and if you can find someone looking after it, in theory someone was watching it at the time, to make sure it didn't, then it's a Shadowfell, I suppose you wouldn't send a single individual, or even a group of individuals, stuff can go wrong too easily. Oh well, enjoy your time. The elves may be here. I'm sure you'll find elves of some sort. Goodbye. And she teleports.
I don't want to say she's my least favourite council member, but she's certainly up there sometimes.
That may be so, but she has helped us quite a lot.
That's
Even
why
if it was
she
for
isn't
a
my
reason.
least favourite member.
Yeah.
Just when she helps, she also likes to stab you in the side at the same time.
So I assume Jack is moving the boat.
Well, Jack is he's going to say to you, right, so, I'm going to move the boat, because that makes sense, but last we talked you were doing something here. Is there still something you want to do in this little section, or are you happy here?
Well,
Um,
now we've seen the crystal.
As far as what way the boat should go, do you want to step onto the island and we'll head in that direction with the ship?
That would have been my suggestion.
Your blip was into the island,
Yeah.
like in towards the centre of
It's
the
just
island.
straight away from the shore.
Yeah.
There's no.
Yeah.
From here I can tell you which way it was, and that's inwards. So if we sail around, it's still going to be inwards, most likely.
We need. It doesn't matter where we need to find a crystal near to a good landing place. That's what we need.
Yes, because remember, we do have to keep a map of where we travel from. If we just try going in there trying to find the ship again, we likely won't find it. So we can't leave the ship. We have to stay with it at least to know where it is, okay, or it's going to be
100%.
waiting.
So there's nothing.
Should we... I turn to Jack. Should we track west and up the coast a little further?
West, because the compasses don't work.
Well,
Clockwise,
west
anti-clockwise,
being
so-
port in this instance.
That is initially the direction you went. You were going
Yeah.
anti-clockwise. Yeah.
So if we continue there with a keen eye upon the shoreline for further crystals and anywhere that shows us a promising berth.
With my staff, I'd like to make a large kind of drag it through the sand, just to have like a large X.
I believe we're
Not
on
on
the
the
boat.
boat, we're on the boat.
You are on the boat.
Okay.
Is the ship like anywhere near the biggest shore?
Oh no no
Oh, wait,
no.
no, of course.
Yeah,
no.
yeah, then you-
200 meters.
Jack was like, I'm not
Running
going
around.
anywhere near the damn shore. I'm not touching that.
Would it be a good idea to mark off on the shore where we arrived so that we know which way to head off when we leave.
Where's that paper and charcoal?
Or are we just going to rely on the map?
Jack, yeah. I mean, wherever we go, we're going out the storm the same distance. It's just how far it is the other side. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really that worried about the journey the other side, especially now we've got those 2 clerics who can just feed us. It doesn't matter. You know, unless there's a particular reason you want to go out that particular section.
I can't think of any. It was a random section we entered.
Yeah. So wherever we go, we can just head towards the storm and power on through. You're down someone.
We are.
Fair enough. So yes, we'll just head out the storm.
And let fate guide us once again.
Fate and the rudder.
Fate be my rudder.
Okay, yeah, so we're doing a bit of travelling around.
That's fine. So,
Oh yeah, I would.
I'll just get my map out.
So as we're sailing along, I'd probably ask Jack if he heard or saw anything on the island.
Occasionally we heard moans. They were very quiet, but unpleasant. There's the people who have, well, there's the first guy who's got maggots coming out of his body, which is
Was he one of
unpleasant.
the people who, did the crew row the boats out?
Crow did row the boats out, but they never got out of the boat.
Okay. He didn't happen to be one of the people who rowed out.
No. No.
He was the cook.
No. People have gotten darker. They have gotten. It is not a nice place to be. People have, who have been complaining of unpleasant nightmares, things rending them apart and gnashing teeth, shredding claws. High-pitched screams of pain. It is not nice to be here. How long are we staying?
As short a period as we can manage.
Wonderful. What's the Shadowfell?
I explain most of what's in the book, chapter of books. It's only a 5-minute explanation, basically. It's not.
Don't mince it at all.
I won't hide it. I'm telling him. I'm making sure his crew isn't around at the time, because
That's cool.
he needs to know what's happening.
So you are just while you're talking, he's like,
Which is why we call the 2 clerics to get rid of the effects.
Yeah. By the end of it, he is very pale.
Yeah.
Like he's full on like, we are boned.
Problem is, you heard the mage. If the barrier is weakened anymore, it will spread. And we're not sure how quickly. It could reach Baldwin within a short period of time.
Yay.
We have to at least investigate what's causing it if we can stop it.
Welcome to the front lines. Or welcome back even.
More appropriate, yes. Wonderful. We will go in this direction, and I will hope that my crew remain loyal.
Yeah. Well, they ought to stay loyal if they wish to live, for going alone here would be death.
What I mean is I hope they don't mutiny.
That would also mean death. They are aware of this, right?
Yes, but if a man
Death
is
or
afraid,
despair
yes.
is their options.
Okay.
I'm
Well, the clerics, nothing else. Hopefully, the clerics make a difference.
And hopefully if we find a lit crystal, it might also remove the effects of hitting.
I think the effects will still be there, but they're not as intense. Or rather, they'll be to the standard they should be at, I guess. Anyway, we'll go this direction.
Yes.
You'll just, I don't know, go somewhere else right now.
Yeah, I leave him alone.
So he takes you anti-clockwise around the island. You travel for, you think, the better part of. Bear with. No. It takes you a couple of hours travelling around the river. You do notice again, a bit like when you first came in, it was just like straight cliff face. For the most part, what you're looking at this island is just straight cliff face. From that bay, it very rapidly just becomes a 100-foot tall cliff again. It stays at that point. But as you're circling around, you do notice it's not as big a bay. It's a much smaller bay. There is a bay a few hours journey where the actually, it's not that the mountains, it's not that the cliff comes down. There is a bay with a sort of like a stream river coming down the hill. It would be somewhere you could get up.
Ford, I believe. Or
Yes.
Delta.
Yeah.
Has there been any signs of any crystals or?
Oh yeah. So yeah, when you're passing this place, there is a crystal up on the top of this particular cliff face. And it is the first crystal that you see going in that direction.
Okay. Does the light help at all? Or?
No, not really. But it is lit. It's not flickering or bouncing around. It is a properly lit crystal. Which, when you're here, the one you saw before was flickering in white before it disappeared. This one's actually glowing blue.
The only issue I consider is that things attack the light. So if we come from where the light is, we may be immediately attacked.
Whilst it's glowing, is it actually giving off light, or is it just visibly coloured?
Hard to tell. Because as you're noticing, as you're looking around, the ground doesn't have colour. Everything is in you're sort of looking at things in shades of grey.
Yeah. Okay.
It's actually, as you're sort of paying attention, looking around, you actually start to notice, all of you, that the ship has faded in colour, and the clothing that the crew have been wearing has faded in colour. Yeah.
Great, we'll be monitoring heading back.
Okay, we
It
best.
really will be
This
a
crystal's lit, I say we land.
seems
Or at least
sane to me.
The sooner we're out of this place, the better.
Indeed. Can I see any signs of movement down the river part?
Make a perception check.
21, I think.
21. Apart from the water running down to meet the sea, you don't see any signs of movement.
That's probably the best place to
Wonderful. So you'll all get into a rowing boat and get rowed into the bay, ready to start making your way up to the cliff. Yep. As Shade steps onto the island,
Here we go again.
you watch as Shade suddenly becomes a
Old
physical appearance changes that of a much older elf, sort of prime.
Womp womp.
Yeah. And you get that blip of where to go, which actually, interestingly enough, at this point is it is a different angle because you're in a different place, but it's almost like directly straight in, a little bit off from just straight towards where you've come in.
Is there another forest type thing?
Not where you are. No, but as you sort of got closer to the thing, you could see some distance away from the edge of the cliff face. You can see a mountain range.
There's a river.
Yes, yeah, Blackwater.
Just checking.
Mountains. Snow?
No.
Black snow.
No.
Ash.
The bits that you saw looked sort of skull-like,
Oh,
They're
good!
definitely mountains, but they sort of look like
Yeah.
big skulls.
Calcium.
So you say we see mountains in the distance. Is it sort of plains or is it sparse grassland?
It's
or
you
occasional
can't.
trees?
You're seeing like the sort of the peaks of the mountain as you're making your way in, because you're still
you're
still
still
below
below
the land.
line.
Yeah, yeah. But you have landed. You are in the bay, ready to start your ascent. And I think that's a good time to call it. Awesome. You're back at the island. Get to use my fun map. Cool. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Keep an eye out for episode 27. We should, in theory, have both Swin and John here next week to have a brief little goodbye to Throndrake, who is not necessarily permanently leaving. It's just John can't do it as a constant thing. We may have him back every now and again for the occasional episode, but you get to find out what he's off doing. Thank you for watching. Go check out all our social media stuff. It's all in the description. You go click on that, and we will hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.